Okay, let's talk about wrestling entries. Okay, specifically now we talk about best wrestling proactive or offensive entries. There is probably one position that is the absolute queen when it comes to proactive entries, which is the snap down. Okay, so obviously this is not a wrestling instruction. We're not going to go too deep into this, but for you to get a sense of what we're talking about and how to get into a front headlock. The first thing that you want to bear in mind when we talk about snapping is what we call the law of the shoulders or head and hips. Whenever you see that your partner's shoulders are in front of his hips, that's a good time to snap. The more they are in front, the easier it will be to put your partner's hands to the ground, okay? If your partner is really upright, no amount of snapping will do the trick. Yeah, of course, this could still be a good idea because over time it tires your partner's head out, sure. But as far as snapping goes, it's going to be fairly hard to a kind of postured opponent, kind of very sort of judo traditional posture. It's going to be fairly hard to snap. You see wrestlers snapping much more because their postures tend to be very, very, very low, very, very deep. Obviously in Jiu-Jitsu, I would say we tend to assume postures that are in between judo and wrestling for many different reasons, because we do have leg tackles, which are not a thing in judo. Our matches are longer than wrestlers, so it becomes very punishing to have very low postures. Be that as it may, we tend to have kind of semi-bent over postures, which make snaps possible, but not as common as they are in wrestling. As a general rule, you want to start forcing your partner's posture in a more kind of bent over fashion, and the best way of doing this is to go and fake the legs. Okay, you can just make contact, you can just fake, you can go for a proper shot, of course, but you can also go and fake the leg, and now your partner denies you the leg, and that gives you a good bite to start snapping. Again, very, very basic outline of a snap down. Few things to keep in mind. When we go to snap, you have to either move away to let him space to fall, or cut an angle on your partner. So either you just move away, or you cut an angle. The reason why this is very important is because you want to avoid to snap your partner into your legs, because now he is the one attacking your legs and not you snapping him down. You basically snap your partner into an easy takedown. So very basic, we make contact, we get a collar tie, and we start harassing the leg, he defends, and we're back. Now, obviously, he can go down to his knees, which is a perfect scenario, though very unlikely, or more likely he's going to end up in some sort of quad pod exchange, and then it's our job to start breaking him down further, switching to a chest lock, whatever the case might be, okay? But at least we are chest back. Now, this is a very, very, very sort of overview of how to snap in a wrestling context. Let's look at a couple of kind of slightly more concrete scenarios. Number one, snapping from inside position, okay? When we talk about in combat sports in general, in wrestling, or in judo, or in jiu-jitsu, we talk about inside position when my hands, body, head, legs are inside and occupy this inside space. If you were holding like a ball, like a Pilates ball, I would want to be controlling inside. It can be on the neck, on the triceps, double triceps, it doesn't matter, okay, for at least for the purposes of this product. So I'm here, I want to start getting inside, and now we play from here. Now I can start going threatening, one near side, far side, and I snap. That's a great way to go. Very, very beginner friendly. Slightly more advanced is from an underhook. Again, we're not going to go into how to get to an underhook to get too deep, because that will become a different series. But an under grants me a great degree of control of my partner's shoulder, which means that when it comes to drag, I can drag him much more efficiently. And again, he's going to stay relatively upright, and I start threatening the legs. Face me. I can either face near side, or I can face far side. Both are good, okay? So an inside reach, or what we call sometimes is known as a knee tap here, and we go for the takedown. Again, you don't really need to know how to perform these moves. The interesting thing about the snap down is that you just need to be able to convince your partner that you can do these moves. So if you literally just go here, it doesn't really matter if you know. Obviously, it's much better if you know how to finish a single leg, and you should know how to finish a single leg. But realistically, your partner is going to react to this. He's going to start pushing everything back. And this is where you see how his posture is very much compromised in ways that it wouldn't be otherwise. Nobody would ever fight from such a compromised position unless I encourage him to do so. And from here, I can start snapping, and we just drag him down with an underhook.